Hello everyone, my name is Alicia Jackson, licensed professional counselor. Welcome to my channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, as today we are going to talk about the green flags in a relationship. I don't know about you, but I hear a lot about red flags. Red flags all over the place, right? And we focus on the things that we don't want to see in a relationship because we're afraid of getting hurt, right? And sometimes it puts us in a situation where we're looking for the worst and expecting the worst and not realizing when potentially we could be in a healthy relationship and not really be full aware of it. So today we're going to talk about what are the signs that you're in a healthy relationship. What are the green flags? So let's get into it. Of course, before we do, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Help me out in these algorithm streets. I appreciate your support as we're continuing to build the channel and provide mental health information from a centered place. All right, so one of the first green flags that you can notice in a relationship is that you can be yourself. You feel free to be your true, authentic self. In a world filled with judgment and ridicule, we feel the tendency sometimes, especially in social settings, to put on a performance, to put on an act, to put on a facade, part of us, and kind of overwork ourselves. It can really lead to us feeling very fatigued in situations, whether it's work or in our friendships, because we're putting on an act, right, in order to be this persona of a person that will be more liked and well approved of. Well, in a healthy relationship, you are being your true authentic self. You're being your true authentic self, and it is being accepted by your partner. And that is how we know, or one of the signs. That is one of the signs, true signs to know that you're in a healthy relationship. The second sign is you find yourself laughing and smiling a lot. You just can't help but to laugh and smile. Now, on the contrary, some relationships, if you are constantly in a stressful feeling, you're feeling stressed, you're feeling turmoil, you're not feeling secure, you're not enjoying the relationship, that's something for you to pay attention to. But in a healthy relationship, you are just happy to be around the person. It's really simple. And it's definitely true in the earlier stages in the relationship. Just being around the person makes you feel good. It makes you feel joy. It makes you feel happy. And you find yourself in a positive mood. Your friends are noticing, hey, what's going on with you? Because you're in a relationship that you're happy and you're excited about. The third green flag of how you know that you are in a healthy relationship is that you feel respected. Now, this goes into boundaries. And if you haven't checked out my series on boundaries, feel free to do so on my channel. But boundaries is how we let someone know how we want to be treated. And how you feel respected in a relationship is when someone adheres to your boundaries. You tell them what's okay and what's not okay, and they respect it and receive it and act accordingly. And so you're getting to know each other, and sometimes those boundaries can be crossed unknowingly. You let the person know, they apologize, take accountability for it, and they adjust and do better. That is how you know that you are in a healthy relationship. And so these are boundaries of different kinds, right? So you're not feeling like the person is rushing you or moving too fast. You are not feeling pressure to share more of yourself or cross any sexual boundaries or anything that you don't feel comfortable sharing. They are able to follow the pace that you feel comfortable with setting in the relationship. One of the ways you know someone is respecting your boundaries is that you feel heard, you feel respected, you feel understood, and you feel valued. Another green flag that you can notice in a relationship is that you guys want similar things in life. You have similar goals. I'm talking about the foundation of the relationship. So it's more important than just, I think if you ask anybody who what they're looking for in a partner, they'll say, oh, I want someone who's kind, or I want someone who's funny, I want someone who's willing to travel. And those are great. But even long-term goals, what are you looking for? Do you want to travel as something you do as you retire throughout your life? Do you want children? What type of home and lifestyle would you like to live? Do you want to own a business? All those things are kind of wrapped into your everyday lifestyle. And if you guys don't have the same similar things and goals, it can bring upon a lot of tension in the relationship. Now, as we know, we are people and we are complex. And so sometimes our goals do shift and change in a relationship. And so that is where compromise comes in. And you can figure out for you and your partner, what are some things you're willing to compromise for yourself. But this is how you know that you're in a place where you're feeling heard and respected, and that your partner is willing to walk this path with you long term. The next green flag that you can notice when you're in a healthy relationship is that you feel challenged, but in a good way. Your partner is holding you accountable. You guys are setting goals. You're holding each other to a higher level. They are telling you maybe about some shortcomings that they see in a respectful way, and then you guys are working to help to grow each other so that you can, one, be a better you, feel better about you, and then also will improve the health of the relationship. The last green flags that you can notice when you're in a healthy relationship is that you will want to make sacrifices, but not too many. Not too many sacrifices. And this is where you kind of for yourself have to determine what sacrifice is too big, right? So what's a small sacrifice, something that you can live with and feel secure in, and what's something that maybe if you look down the road, maybe a year or 5 years, or even 6 months down the road, and say, I don't think I will feel good about making this sacrifice right now. And then the person also even will help to be a barometer for you to measure, hey, like, I know you say you want to do this for me, but I'm just concerned about you making this big commitment and sacrifice. And so one of the commitments could definitely be, or sacrifice can be, that you guys make plans to join and make a long-term commitment with each other, because that is you committing your life to each other. That's a huge sacrifice, right? But it is a part of really you guys joining yourselves and being a part of that long journey and wanting those same things in life. And that's why that's so important. But also you setting some boundaries for yourself, even for what would be something that is too much of a sacrifice, and something that you feel would potentially jeopardize the relationship if you were to do so. You love the person and you want to help them, or you want to be a support and a supporting cast member in their life, and at the same time you don't want to do that to a detriment to yourself. So the green flags that we mentioned earlier were one, that you can be yourself. Two, that you find yourself laughing and smiling a lot, right? Three, you feel respected by your partner in the relationship. Four, you want similar things. You want to connect in the same way. Five, you feel challenged. You feel like they're holding you accountable. They may be calling you to a higher standard, and at the same time, it is aligning with what you want for your life, and it's helping you reach your dreams and your goals. The sixth is that you want to make some sacrifices, but at the same time, you want to create some boundaries about what those sacrifices are for yourself, so that you can also maintain the health of the relationship. And here are some things just to consider as well as you're looking at the green flags in a relationship. One, that there's communication, healthy communication. There's a space for each of you to be heard, to be valued, to be supported, and to be understood. It doesn't mean that you are going to agree, right? There's going to be conflict, and conflict is actually healthy in a relationship. It just means that you hear each other out. You take time to hear each other out. And if your partner is saying something that you don't agree with, it doesn't mean that you deny their experience. You just say that we agree to disagree. and you lean in to understand and experience their point of view and be there with them through that. Respect. Having those boundaries that we talked about, respecting opinions, respecting feelings, giving each other freedom to be themselves, not being too controlling about what you want for them, but allowing them to be themselves. Trust. Making sure that there's no tests, right, that you're putting this person through. They don't have to prove themselves to you, that there's already this foundation of trust between each other. It's a true building block of a healthy relationship. Another thing that is good to know if you're in a healthy relationship is honesty. You want to be able to know that you are able to say what you really mean and what you need to say in order to feel heard, that your voice is being heard and like your true voice, not just what you would say in order to keep the other person happy, but really, really what you truly feel. And you also want to create that same space for your partner, and even create that same space for yourself. So if you are in a space where you don't even feel comfortable being honest with yourself about what's happening, that is also a time for you to take inventory about your relationship with yourself. As your relationship with yourself is going to directly impact your relationship with someone else. There's equality. There's equality. There's no control dynamics when making big decisions with each other. That you two talk it out together and come to a agreement about what works best for your relationship. Consent. That in any choice that you guys make with each other, where it's financial, sexual, physical, that you talk about what those choices are, those decisions are together before you take the next steps about what you would like to do progressing your relationship moving forward. And of course, if you choose to parent, whether it's adopt, foster, or to procreate, that you guys communicate with each other about how you would like to mold your child or mold your family together, and what are the truths that you would like to set together to make sure that each partner is heard, is understood, and that co-parenting can be a sometimes difficult place, but co-parenting also, whether it's co-parenting in separate homes, whether it's co-parenting with multiple families, as you know, all families do look different, or if it's co-parenting even in the same home, making sure all parties feel heard and feel understood and come to a space where there's compromise. There's not always going to be a win-win, and that can be challenging at times, and at the same time, making sure that you come to a place where everyone is feeling heard and understood, and that the major goals for the family are being met, and that's what's most important. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful for you to think about the green flags in a relationship. We focus so much on the red ones, and I know they're out there, and we do need to pay attention to them. And hey, there may be a video coming down the pipe about that. But I wanted to really focus on the green flags so that we can truly know for ourselves too what it means and what it feels like to be in a healthy relationship, and maybe look for those more as instead of looking for the red flags, because we tend to ignore those. But if we don't see a green flag, then we can start to ask ourselves some questions of, why is it? Why don't I feel respected? Why don't I feel heard? Why don't I feel like my boundaries are being listened to? Why do I feel like there's an unhealthy dynamic in my relationship where the other person is feeling more in control? Or how come I don't trust the person that I'm in a relationship? Or if there's no honesty, if there's no open communication, I can't say what I want to say because of what might happen. These are some things that we need to ask ourselves, what is happening in the relationship, to see if there needs to be an adjustment or if there needs to be an exit. Thank you guys so much for watching. And of course, subscribe to the channel, like the video, please. And be cool, be calm, be centered. Thank you so much. Peace.